Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Is this okay? Do I sound okay? Anybody there? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Probably could be a bit louder. I'm using a new mic, so that's why I'm testing it out. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. I think the music probably could be louder. Hello, hello. I think this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. Okay. The music's quiet enough, so yeah, there we go. Hello, welcome to the Munch stream. I'm the great and famous the Aaron Munch, and I'm going to be coloring this Stitch animation today. I've been working on this for the past 3 weeks. It was originally just supposed to be a week-long little animation, and of course I put too much work into it, and it's now taken about 3 weeks. We're coming up on 3.5 weeks, maybe on Thursday, Friday. But yeah, we're going to be colouring in this Stitch animation. I've coloured parts of it already, mostly the annoying bits. So you might notice there on the example picture I've done, his ears and his nose are both gradients, and I've coloured all of those in on each of the frames. So just to get that out of the way, because I've never animated with gradients before, and I knew it was going to be really annoying and irritating. So that is done. His mouth is also coloured in. So the main things we've got to worry about, hopefully not worry about, but is the blue, is the main fur colour, the lighter blue, which is on his eyes and his chest, and the darker blue, which will be his little toe thingies and his claws. And I think, yeah, so I think that'll be it, really. I don't know if we're going to complete it today, necessarily. I think we'll finish colouring in, but I don't think I'll be totally finished with this. I need to go back and edit a few things later on, potentially, when I'm not streaming. So, yeah. But before we hop into it, I've got 2 things that I would really like to bring up. So the first thing is the Munch Stream YouTube channel. So I'll quickly get it up. So this is my channel, obviously. If you're interested in catching these streams, once they've been recorded, like maybe you might be busy when I'm live, or you're interested in having a look, I've linked the Munch stream on my YouTube page at the bottom here, so you just click that. I'm sure the Munch stream will come up if you just type it in as well, but there you go. That's just putting that out there if anyone wanted to have a look at these streams later on. 7 subscribers, wow, I'm surprised I got that many. So yeah, that was one thing that I wanted to show off. The other thing was, let's have a look through my references here. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out here for you. So you might see here I've used a few, zoom out more. Yeah, I've used a few references here and there. These 3 here are from the movie. So these are just screen grabs that I got. I think the one in the middle is just a thumbnail, so the colors are slightly more saturated, but I use these all as references, not only for coloring in, but also just the general shape and of Stitch, because truthfully I haven't really drawn him that much. Usually when I do animations, I'm doing characters that I have drawn loads of, so it might be my character Abel, my original character, or it might be Sonic, or it might be Spider-Man or Mario, who I've all drawn at least more than once, whereas with Stitch, I haven't really drawn him before. So it was quite a challenge getting that down, and I used these reference pictures. But the reason I bring these up in particular is because I wanted to give a special shout out to these artists. So these are all on DeviantArt. You can all look them up later on. But it's Emily Van Slyke. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They helped choose the colors that I wanted to choose and go for, and kind of give me an idea of what the other stitches are like. I don't think all of them are entirely accurate. Like Stitch the movie and Leroy and Stitch one look a bit too white on his chest and on his eyes, but that doesn't matter. It just gave me kind of an idea of what the movies were like. So I wanted to give them a shout out, Emily Van Slyke on DeviantArt. And then we got, I'm gonna butcher this name, Prinz Bernzo. They did this really cool comparison picture of Stitch, and the reason that I wanted this one in particular was because the one on the left is the kind of Stitch I wanted to go for. I don't really like the modern, quote-unquote modern design where the colors are really saturated and he looks weird. So, I tried to keep this in mind when I was coloring and whatever, and drawing. So Prinz Bernzo, hope I'm pronouncing that right, on DeviantArt. And then finally we've got Ribera. Yeah, Ribera. They've drawn a few pictures of Stitch as well, which I used as reference, which was really good. That one right there that they've drawn is like amazing. That's very good. So yeah, that's just another artist that I use references for. So, feel free to check those guys out. They don't know that I've used these as references, but they helped out quite a lot to get a better understanding of the character, I guess, because I'm not used to drawing him. Molly says Aaron Munch. Yes, that is me. Hello. Am I coming through okay? I hope I'm coming through okay. It's not too loud or whatever, or the music's not too loud, or I'm too quiet. Because I don't really fancy repeating all that again, so hopefully that's it. Hopefully it's okay. I'm just gonna have a drink. Oh, 6 people. Hey, so if you missed that beginning bit, I was just crediting the artists I use references for. So over here, Emily Van Slyke, and then over here, Prinz Bernzo and Ribera. Feel free to check those guys out. Those guys are all on DeviantArt. So feel free to check them out if you want to see more of their art. But they really did help with getting an idea of Stitch's shape and his color scheme, and then they're just screen grabs from the movie. So yeah. Okay, loud and clear back out. Okay, that's great to hear. It's good stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna turn these off briefly, and we're gonna, before we go into it more in color, I just wanted to show off some of these little concept color drawings that I did. So this was, I don't know, maybe a week ago I started experimenting with color just to get an idea of, what colors I wanted to go for, because as previously mentioned, I'm a bit picky with colors for Stitch. I think the first movie's color scheme is probably the best. Oh, excuse me. And I don't really like the really saturated version, so there you go. So you'll also notice that the nose and the ears are on gradients, and I'll go over that in a sec. But so yeah, these colors are directly from the first movie, from one of the screen grabs that I got. This is from this is from another screenshot where the colors were a bit darker. I thought it was a bit too dark for this, so I didn't end up going with it. And this one, the first one, was just an idea. This one is a screen grab from like an afternoon setting, which I also thought was a bit too dark. So moved on. Movie 2, this is from the second movie. Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch. I haven't actually seen it, so I can't comment on how good it is. But apparently they had a bit more of a green tint to the color scheme in that movie. So there you go. It's fine. It's at least not as saturated as the other ones are, but it's still not my favorite. This is the series one, so this is from the Lilo and Stitch TV series, and I think practically everything else that's came out since then. So if you see Stitch in an animation, he's probably going to have this color scheme. I'm not the biggest fan. I prefer the way more subtle, less saturated movie colors, just because he looks a lot more, it's just a lot more appealing to me than this. It's it's fine, it's whatever, but like I said, I'm a bit picky with colors. So this is the original movie's colors, but I've put the gradients on the nose and the ears, so that's pretty self-explanatory. My colors, these are colors I didn't end up going with. These were just ones that I was experimenting with a little bit. So these were just some of mine. Maybe the colors are a bit darker or more saturated or less saturated, but in the end, I ended up going with this, which I think is a good kind of middle ground between the movie and, I guess, my own choices. So, yeah. And then this one was a reference. Oh, saving. This one is the main reference I used for the mouth, and it's obviously the picture I used when I announced that I was streaming again. So, yeah. With that, let's go on to the actual stage, I guess. Right, we've got all that boring shit out the way. You can enjoy it now. Mostly. So I don't know how well this is going to come out because I'm streaming on Adobe Animate on my Mac, and my Mac is quite old, as well as I've probably put way too much stuff on there, so it's probably going to be a bit slow. So I don't know how well this is going to come out, but I could show you the animation. I could press play. But if it's slow, it's not because the animation itself is slow, it's because my computer's slow and it's trying to run OBS and Flash or anime, whatever you prefer. So, yeah. First stream of the year. It took me long enough. Originally, when I was streaming back in December, I really did want to keep going, keep it consistent, but obviously with the holidays coming around in December, it was practically impossible to keep up in that month. And then ever since then, I've just been a bit busy anyway. But also, I don't, I think drawing streams are good, and like it would be good to do them, but this is a big thing, like I don't want to do them all the time, as in I just think it'd be a little bit boring. Like I don't always want to draw, I want to be animating, or it would be cool if one day I could play games live on Twitch, but at the minute that's not really an option. So yeah, I don't have the equipment for that, so it's either going to be animation or art, but one day that would be a really cool goal to have. When I've a drink, one sec. Oh, that's good. Coke. Pepsi. Okay. Let's get started. So you probably noticed that Stitch here is got red on him instead of blue. And if you look really closely, you can see these little green lines that I've got here. These were done with the pencil tool, which I've only just realized how useful that is. Like, I've had Flash for almost a decade, Adobe Animate, and I only just learned how to use the pencil tool properly, so that's been pretty fun. But yeah, it's basically a tool that I'm going to use from here on out if I'm ever going to use shading in my animations, or, details like this, which, for example, Stitch's, chest, it doesn't have a black outline, because that would probably be way too much going on there. So it's meant to have no outline. And what I plan to do is go back through this animation once we've colored it and get rid of these green lines, which there's quite a lot of. There's one around his eyes, mouth, and stomach. But yeah, before we go into it, I'm just going to pull up references here. Let's find out. Here we go. So I'm going to start coloring his toes and his claws, because it's the darkest color, and it's also probably the most awkward color, just because of how, small his nails are, the way I've drawn them. So I'll be going back and sorting that out. So my computer's choking, I can hear it. So I'm going to press play. You're getting a little sneak peek here. If it doesn't play very fast, if it's really slow, that's totally fine, because you'll be seeing it in the next few weeks at some point. Whenever I finish it, I'm going to upload it. So let's press play and see how slow it becomes. Oh yeah, that's slow. And there you go. 3 weeks. 3 weeks of work to make that. That's animation for you. Actually, this is also the background that I'm planning to use with the animation, and I just want to put that out there. I did not do this. I did not paint this. I'm not that good. This is an original watercolor background from the movie. Just to spice up the colors, I guess, just because it'd be a bit boring if it was just a white background. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's turn that off because it's going to lag even more. Okay. Actually, to tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the sketch, the original storyboard of the animation. So this was done, about 3 weeks ago. I think I did it in about a night. Like, I think I did this very rough storyboard, animatic, whatever you want to call it, in about one night, and then I started doing the line art on the same night, which I think is pretty fast for me, which is probably why I thought it would take me a week and no longer to do it. So let's press play on this. Ooh, shit. And there you go, he's finished. So this was the main rough that I used as reference for the animation to, decide on what was happening. The drawings aren't great by any stretch, because this is also, the first time I've drawn Stitch properly in years, probably since I was a kid. But it's, gets the job done, and we obviously cleaned that up later on. So, yeah, there you go. Got all the important bits across, which is what a good animatic should do, I think, or storyboard, whatever you want to call it. Oh jeez, it's too many. Okay, now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, all that boring shit, let's start coloring, I guess. Just quickly hit save. We haven't done anything substantial yet. So, part of the reason for this stream was not only because, obviously, I wanted to stream again and start getting that ball rolling again. I think it would be really good. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart. I think it would be great to start streaming just more consistently and do animations, and part of this is also a test to see how well I can stream animation, because I've never streamed animation before. I've only ever streamed drawing. So oh, hey Jacob. I was telling Jacob I was streaming earlier, and now he's joined. Hello. Yeah, we've got 5 lovely people watching. Most of this animation is also on 2s, I think. There's parts where it's on 3s or 1s in some rare cases, but I've learned to start doing it. Using a mix, I think, is the best way forward. Doing Mint Man, loving it. Thank you, Jacob. But yeah, this is the less glamorous side of animation where it is just literally using a paint bucket and coloring. So it's not exactly going to be a very interesting stream to watch, probably, but maybe you've got it on the background. I don't know. Ooh, my computer's making noises. Oh shit, that is way too big. It's the wrong color. Oh, it's still too big, damn it. Okay. So yeah, not exactly the most interesting part about animation, but for me it's quite cathartic. I do actually really enjoy coloring in, not only because it's a simple... Oh, it's lagging. There we go. Not only because it's, you know, a very simple thing to do. It, you know, it doesn't take much brain energy. It's just I think it's really cathartic after seeing it in black and white for so long. It's nice to see some color added. Oh, saving for recovery. I should probably turn that off. Okay. So for you all watching, how are you guys doing? It's been a while. Like I said, first stream of the year. It only took me until March. Didn't figure out what my loose foot, so I'll just leave that. There we go. I think that's the one thing I did not get reference for, was the bottom of his foot. I mean, I could probably find it somewhere, but I'll just do that after. It's not a huge deal right now. So all of these drawings are actually hand-drawn, completely, every single one is hand-drawn. There's no tweening or whatever going on here. It's purely just every frame. Well, not every frame, but most frames are brand new drawings. So let's get down there. What's going on there? Why is his foot like that? Why did I draw it like that? Oh well. Jacob says, it's interesting, didn't think it took all this to do an animation if I'm was made. So do you have to do it sort of frame by frame at different time segments? Well, it depends on the type of animation, because you can obviously do rigged animation where the drawing is already, you know, drawn for you. The character's already drawn, and then you don't have to worry about redrawing it unless, you know, you've got a hand that might need, you know, if you were doing an open hand, like a high five or something like that, like that, you might need to draw another drawing where it's like that, where it's pointing instead, that sort of thing. But yeah, the way I've done this animation is all frame by frame, so this is all, every drawing is a unique drawing. It takes the longest, but it's the way I like to do it, I think. I don't know if I've got an animation style per se. It's not something, you know, it's something I think about. Like, the main thing I'm you know, concerned about when I'm animating is if the weight is there, you know. Does this character feel like they have weight? But I don't, you know, you don't normally think about whether or not this is your style. Like, I think you just tend to do it. Unless you're paid to do work where it's supposed to look like a certain style. Fuck you, I keep doing that. But yeah, this is all frame by frame. And this has taken me 3 weeks. That makes sense. I've probably explained it in the worst way possible because I'm very good at explaining things, but yeah, there you go. What's your favorite thing to anime? Characters. When you've got a character that's as complicated as Stitch in this regard, it can be more time consuming, but I really do enjoy animating characters because it's mostly the thing that I draw, to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of drawing backgrounds. I'll do it if I have to, but I don't tend to draw backgrounds or whatever unless I absolutely need to. But I really like animating characters because there's so much you can do with them. Making them squash and stretch and move about and, telling stories. Yeah. So it have to be characters. I don't have a favorite character to animate yet, aside from the usual characters that I draw. But Stitch has been quite fun. He's quite expressive. He's quite expressively there. So let's have a quick look through that. So that was what? Was that about 5 minutes? 2 minutes? Something like that? I don't know. I've got a very bad perception of time. So let's just save that really quickly. There we go. That's excuse me, that's about 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Roughly. That took us. Which isn't too bad. And let's go on to the next frames. So this frame is quite close to the original. A bit more of an easing in frame. But the reason I wanted to animate Stitch is, not only because this character, like I absolutely adore, Lilo and Stitch as a film and the character in general. Like it's my favorite Disney movie, but then he's also probably one of my favorite Disney characters too. And maybe characters of all time as well. I really do like Stitch. I watched it a few weeks. Oh god, it would have been a month ago now. A month ago, I watched it again with a friend, and I'd seen it, maybe a year or two ago anyway. But this film came out when I was about 5, I think. So I was in the prime, Disney mood to really enjoy this movie, and I still really enjoy this movie anyway. I think it's great. It's became my favorite more as I've gotten older, because I didn't watch it for years, and then I came back to it and fell in love with it again. So, yeah, gotta be my favorite Disney movie, and he's probably my favorite character, Disney character. That is. I just think there's so many ways to do aliens, and I think in that movie they do it in a really fun way. There's so much possibility there, and yet it still has its own unique flair to it, and that's Chris Sanders' style. Blech. He's a really great artist. I really enjoy his work. And Stitch is such a great design anyway. In fact, I think he was designed all the way back in the 80s. Maybe 1985 or something. 1984. He tried to sell the idea as a children's book, but he couldn't get it to work, so he pretty much shelved it for about 17 years, I think, and then he became an animator for Disney, where I think he was working on Mulan, and then they came forward and the executives were like, hey, have you got any ideas for any movies? And we came back to this idea, which is where we added Lilo and, give Stitch a way more defined design, changed his color. I think originally he was, in one of his first sketches, he was green with an orange suit, but then he changed that to blue and red. There we go. That's... I don't remember making these frames. I've labeled all my frames. I don't think you can see on the stream, but yeah, I've labeled all of them just so I don't get confused. Okay, let's play that, just see if that's okay. Yep, that's all good. Although, what I'm going to do is just turn off the other layers, just so I don't get confused with what's on what. So we're just going to do the main arms first, and then we'll do the secondary arms, I guess. Love Stitch, man. Do you ever do Pokemon? Says Jacob. You've drawn him well. Looks so good. Thank you. I've drawn James on stream before. I've drawn James on stream before a while ago. That was when I was first starting to stream. But I haven't drawn any proper Pokemon on stream. I have drawn them on my social media websites and stuff like that before, like on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. But I haven't actually animated any Pokemon before, which would be a fun idea, to be fair. That could be something I might do. I've been meaning to play Pokemon again recently. But thank you for the thank you for the compliment there. I didn't try to make him look exactly like he does in the movie, purely because Disney animators are on another level. They're absolutely fantastic, very talented people. And they could probably animate all of this on ones and make it look way more consistent and way better than mine and way more refined. But I am not a Disney animator, so I'm not going to do that. I think if I animated it to the same level that they did, if I even tried, I don't think I would be done until, like, next winter or something. I'd rather just get this colored, get this done, and then I can move on to something else. This is absolutely riveting. How's my mic quality? Anyone who's watching or listening, is it okay? I'm not using my standard mic. I used to use an Apple mic, one of the ones that you would get for free with a new iPhone. But the thing is, upon listening back to my old streams, I just hated the way that the mic kept hitting off my chest when I was talking. It kept making a little sound. So I've switched to my PlayStation 4 mic, which is also a computer mic as well, which is like a PC mic, if you will. Oh, my back is killing already. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, it's actually good, to be fair. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob, for that. I'm glad to hear it. I thought it would be okay anyway, but it's better to double check, you know. The music's not too loud or anything like that. Oh, that is very laggy. It's not as laggy there, but it's still quite laggy. Okay. Let's turn these off. Turn off his antennae. I don't think I've missed any just yet. I think I've done pretty good. I'm not missing any. Yeah. All good, man. You got it all sussed. Thanks, Jacob. Took a lot of trial and error, I'll tell you that much. Oh. No, no, that is not what we wanted. So, how are you guys? If you guys are feeling vocal, how are you guys today? I'm not too bad. I was a bit worried originally this morning. This morning, what a joke. This afternoon when I woke up, that I was going to feel too groggy. Because it's the worst thing ever when you commit to something when you're really excited and then you come to it and then you don't really want to do it. But I quickly kind of woke up out of that and wanted to start streaming, which was quite a nice feeling. It's nice being able to do them. Otherwise, I've just been keeping busy with this mainly. I decided, I think last year, I wanted last year to be an animation-centric year, which didn't end up working out. But this year, I've really tried to go back to what makes me really enjoy doing animation. So hopefully you'll see a lot more of stuff like this, and I'm hoping to upload it on all my social medias. But I think I mentioned in the last stream, like or the stream before that, a couple of my projects. I haven't really been back to those. I've been mainly just focusing on newer stuff. But I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to go back to them. I mean, it'll be me who decides that really, but I really need to go back and do that Only Players video. Maybe I'll stream myself animating that when I go back to it. Jacob says, woke up in the afternoon, late nights, like, how many hours a day / week do you put into this one? I feel like you do enough to do more. Well, I think by nature I'm a night owl. Yeah, I'm very much a night owl kind of person. I like to stay up really late. It's normally when I feel the most creative. I don't know if that's just a psychological thing, but I usually feel a lot more, ready to work at night. I think it might be because of how quiet it is. Even though I don't live with anyone, but it's just, I don't know, just something clicks in me and I feel a lot more creative at nighttime. I could probably do this sort of thing in the day because this is very, this doesn't take a lot of brain matter, but brain power or whatever. That's good. But I usually like to work at night. My sleeping pattern has been really fucked ever since Christmas, I want to say. I'd oh god, I'd stay up until about 6 a.m. at least. Excuse me. And then wake up at about 4 in the afternoon. And there's been days where I haven't done that. It's just they're very few and far between. There'll be days when I'll actually will go to sleep early, and then wake up early, and then usually the day after I'll go back to having a really fucked up sleeping pattern, which isn't great. Yeah, some people function better with me, which is understandable. Yep, I'm one of them. 6 a.m. Jesus. 6 till 4 p.m. Near enough my working day. Oh god, yeah. It's not great, and I'm not proud of it, but it's really hard to break out of when you have those kinds of sleeping patterns. I'll get it sorted eventually, just not yet. I did wake up a bit earlier today. I went to sleep at about maybe 6:30. I was in bed by about 4, but I couldn't sleep for the life of me. Toss and turn for hours. And then I took some sleeping tablets when I just could not sleep. That did the trick, but then I woke up at about must have been about 2. Yeah, 2. Which isn't good, but it's better than what it has been lately. In terms of your other question, how many hours a day / week do you put into this? It depends. I usually like to do at least an hour for streaming. I usually like to do at least an hour because I think that's enough for some people. Some people like to go in for an hour and then, that's usually enough for them, which is fair enough. Sometimes it's 2 hours. It kind of depends on my mood. I think the most I've done is 4 hours before. But I haven't done one of those in a while. So usually I try to stick to 1 or 2 hours, and it's been almost an hour now. So we're making decent progress, I think. Because truthfully, even if I wasn't streaming, coloring this in, I'd probably still be getting distracted somehow. Whether it's music or YouTube coming up, or sometimes I don't work completely, straight on. I like to take breaks. And I might need to go for a quick break in a few minutes, just because I really need the toilet, even though I went to the toilet before I came on. Of course, my bladder decides to fuck me over, so when I come, I'll probably be about 2 minutes or something like that, and then I'll be back as soon as. Yeah, don't need to get it sorted yet, do it when you actually have to. Yeah. I forgot to do this feed. But yeah, I usually like to do about an hour or 2. But I don't expect people to stay for the whole thing. It's only if people, if people want to, they can. I'm just gonna be doing this anyway. See, my idea, my plan, so to speak, is if I do more of these sorts of animations and stream them, I'm hoping that either I'll be able to do them more consistently, but they won't be as long. So maybe it'll be like an hour at the most, and then that'll be it. And I do them more consistently, or, I'll do them not as consistently, but I'll still try to do them weekly. But then I'll do them for longer, so I might be doing them for like 2 hours at least or something like that. That's kind of an idea that I've had recently. I don't know if I'll stick to it, considering I rarely stick to anything these days. In a way, I'm kind of surprised that I've stuck to this, because I haven't done like a full-length animation in so long. What I've got to do is fucking back. Read the chat in a moment. I'm going to turn off the heating as well. It's actually really hot in here. Read the chat in a second. I just want to get this bit done. Everything. Let's have a look through that. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm just gonna read the chat and then I'm gonna quickly go to the. Well, you're doing so well, man. Keep us up proud of you. Takes courage and balls to do this. Yeah, no worries, Jacob. Thank you for coming by. I'm sorry I only just got to message there. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the support. It's just nice that people have been so nice about this. Um, but yeah, no worries. Thank you for coming. And I'll keep going. I'll try and do it more consistently. Um, but cheers for the kind words. Okay, I am gonna be right back. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave this on the screen. But I'll be right back now. Just in case anyone joins while I'm gone. I don't know why I saved that. I did not. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna be right back. I will just turn my mic off. Be right back. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, hello, I'm back. Oh, I really had to go. Oh, I think it's like coffee I had earlier. Yeah, it's the other thing with streaming on Flash or anime, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure how the pen lines will go because if it's laggy, then it's going to be really shit, and the pen won't go where I want it to go. Completely need to invest in a new computer. I have a new computer. Sorry, what's wrong with this one or something? Okay, cool. We've got three people watching. Hello. I'm not sure which part we're going to move on to after we've done the nails and the darker parts of his body, because we still have the other arms to do and his antennae. So let's see how we get on with this. He doesn't really, he's not very on model in this pose. Doesn't really matter. It's his finger. There we go. Just save that. Thing is, this might be quite dull, but at the very least, it's not coloring with gradients, which I I didn't love doing truthfully. Because not only do you have to color it, but you also have to keep it animated, which is a really hard thing to do. Keep it consistent. So making sure that this darker pink bit, or darker purple, whatever it is, making sure that that follows the ears properly. It's quite difficult. Still not entirely sure the colour of the bottom of his feet, but I guess we'll see. Might just do that later off screen or something. Okay. Keep fucking doing that. God damn it. Okay. We're almost at the end here. Yeah, the reason it's colored red in particular is just so I could keep track of what is what, basically, because if I remove this, that green line is really hard to see, and I just needed a placeholder color. I considered using blue, but I thought if I'm already coloring it blue, then, there'll be parts where I might not be sure if I've colored it in if it's already a blue, and making sure it's the right blue, so I just considered making it red, just so it would be a bit easier for me. The green lines, I don't know, I just went with a very bright color. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping I can do these a bit more consistently. At the very least, if I do these more consistently, maybe it'll pay off somewhat. I'm doing it more so for fun and enjoyment now, but it will be some of those targets. It's not likely too bad. You guys in? There we go. It's the wrong color. Yeah, any games you guys been playing lately? That was definitely a sentence. Let's see. I've been playing Overwatch. I came back to that. My friend asked me to do a few games, and I was originally a bit like, but I've since got a bit more back into it, and I've been enjoying it. Although I haven't been on it in like a week or something. And I recently 100% Sonic Adventure. That's been a long time coming. Got all the emblems, got all the achievements on the Xbox version, so that's been fun. I've grown much more of an appreciation for that game recently. I think I think that's something that I've been doing recently is going back to like older games and getting more of a defined opinion on them, specifically Sonic games, I guess. Because I also went back and I've started playing. I went back to playing Sonic 06, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably already aware, but it's not a very good game. But here's the thing: it's definitely a rushed, mess, and that's really sad. I think the saddest part about that is it's just the missed opportunity that it had because it was, quite hyped, and I think it sold really well. But there are parts about that game that I do legitimately enjoy. I think the music's really good. I enjoy Sonic's stages. I think his stages are probably the best designed thing. I think some of the art style stuff, even though it clashes and it isn't the best, I can see what they were going for. It's one of those things where at the time they wanted to do more realistic backgrounds, but then the characters still cartoony. And I think the upcoming Sonic game, Frontiers, I think it's called, that's kind of doing a similar thing. That the backgrounds are all very, the levels are all realistic looking, and then the character Sonic is still cartoony enough. It can work, but I think it's really hard to balance that when you've got real humans, real looking humans as well. But even then, the part anime humans, but then also they kind of look realistic too. It was probably, I think it was it was a weird decision, but I think the reason that they went with that was because I think they were making a game for the next gen consoles at the time, and then they combined it with whatever Sonic game that they were making, and then they wanted to push the two together so they could show off graphically how far it was, going to be pushed. Which I think it's a really weird direction to go in, because I think at that point, the most recent game was Shadow the Hedgehog 2005, and that had like parts realism that was kind of a mixed bag, in that like its art style was partially realistic, and then other times it wasn't. It was cartoony. Like Shadow has like squash and stretch when he jumps and stuff like that, which is quite a cartoony thing to have for your little character, which makes sense, but then it doesn't make sense with the realistic backgrounds and some of the characters. But then before that, it was Heroes, which was trying to harken back to the classics, the classic art style where it wasn't realistic. And it was more fantastical, and each level was its own thing. After the adventure games were quite more realistic and consistent with, the world. I think it's all personal preference, really. I still haven't decided where I draw the line with it, but I think Generations probably did a really good balance. But yeah, for some reason I've been playing that again. I think the models themselves are like good. I think the art style is a bit like it made them, all the characters, a bit lanky, which or look a bit lanky, even though they're still meant to be free-footed. And they've got a bit more humanistic, humanistic proportions, for better or worse. The only thing that I kind of didn't really like was I think Sonic's ears are a bit too small, but that's it really. But yeah, as a game like the it was rushed, and I think the saddest part about that is the fact that they could have amended it. They could have put in DLC patches, maybe not DLC but patches to even the game out a lot more. But I don't even know how much good that would do because it was already released at that point, and most people have already made their minds up. So who knows? I mean, it was pretty shitty of them to release DLC, pay DLC instead of patching the game. That was pretty dumb. Probably going to need to amend that at some point. It's always yeah, that was my little rant. Also, I've been playing Cuphead. I recently got that for the first time, and you would think as an anime I would have got on that immediately. But I was quite worried by the difficulty with that game. I don't really play hard games that often, but it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's great. Uh, I've done a lot of the levels on just the standard casual level just to get a feel for it first. But I do go back and then try to do it on the regular difficulty. I'm currently on the third world, but I excuse me, I'm early on in the third world, and I'm about to go back and do all of the previous levels that I haven't gotten the higher difficulty on. So it's been really fun, and obviously it's a gorgeous looking game. Yeah, there we go. And boom. Not all of his hands are done. Not all of the darker color scheme is done, but we've got through quite a lot of it. Let's see that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go back and we're going to start doing the arms, I think, or at least the nails of the arms. The nails of the arms, the nails of the fingertips, even, sorry. Let's see what that I think one of the biggest challenges with animating Stitch was that he had practically double of everything. Instead of two arms, he has four. Um, he has two antennae compared to most people's zero. Um, um, and he has those back spike things that come out later on in the animation. And not to mention, I think his head is really detailed. Not in a bad way, just like in the movie when you're watching it, you don't really notice, but God almighty, when you're drawing it, like by every other frame, you start to notice. I was thinking maybe if we don't get through all of this, which is absolutely fine, then maybe I might stream over the next few days. Just see how I feel, basically. If I feel the need to stream, I might just do it and then just share the link online rather than announce it and then wait until the day comes and stream. just keep it fairly flexible. Hello to the one viewer there. How are you doing? Jeez, that was tiny. But yeah, it's got to be Liam's just got to be one of my favorite movies of all time as well. I think it was just I needed another rewatch to really, confirm that. I don't really know how I feel about the spin-offs, about the TV show, because I haven't watched it in so long. And as a kid, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that there were other experiments and stuff. But it does, in the long run, kind of make Stitch feel less special because he's 626, 626, meaning, there was 626 before, 625 even before him. And that kind of makes him feel a bit less special. I think it's kind of cool that some of them have like different powers, like Sparky's electric. He's the yellow one. He's okay. I don't mind him. Some of the other ones are a bit not as good. Like they do like one function, and it just seems a bit unbelievable already in this fantastical film that Jumbo would make so many. Like, I know that he made a lot so that they were prototypes basically of Stitch in a way. But it doesn't really make sense why we'd make one to look really cute and then one to, I don't know, like cook and stuff, because each of them has one function that they do. So. It's getting a little messy. I don't even see these videos. Just really small. You don't even see this bit yet. I still can get rid of that. Rewind that over times. Still got to do the hand in the foreground. Let's go. Contact. Fine. Now let's do the this is. I'm wondering how fun this must be to watch. Probably not that fun, right? I think it would probably be more interesting if I streamed myself like animating by hand, but it's something I'm still kind of trying to figure out. Because it would be great to do. I think it would be more fun for people watching, I guess. But I don't know if my computer can handle it. It's making noises now, and I'm just coloring. But I mean, in motion, it's probably going to be a bit more fun. I'm going to do this bit, and then once I've done that, I'm going to run over and turn the off because it's way too loud. Fuck you. I can't actually wait to eat. I'm so hungry. I did have a snack before I started streaming, but it wasn't enough. I'm gonna have some dinner. Do this frame. Okay, so that frame is done. Let's just make sure everything's done. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna very quickly be right back. Just turn the heating off. I'm not even gonna mute my mic just because I'll be very quick. There we go. Shitting hell. Okay. Back to it. So I think when I finished this animation, the original plan was to upload it just to my social media pages. So this would be like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that was going to be it. But then when I spoke to my friend, I spoke to a few friends actually about it, and they told me that I should also upload it to YouTube. Originally I did have a bit of a problem with that, purely because it's not an official video. It's not, it doesn't have like a beginning, middle, and an end. It's just kind of a very small animation test. However, a few of my friends said, it shows off my capabilities and my repertoire as an animator, so I might as well just go for it. And I agree. I think it would be nice to upload something, considering it's been a year and a half, September 2020, since I last uploaded, which is a bit shit. So, yeah, that would be nice to upload again. I'm a little bit worried for some reason, but, it'll still be fine, I'm sure. And at least it's something rather than nothing. So that hand in the background goes over the So, yeah, I'm planning to upload it there, and hopefully it should get the ball rolling with other videos. Like I said, I've got a few planned, but it's just another thing kind of bringing into reality, into the world, considering how long it takes me to do it. Sorry. It's the foreground button. Jeez. Oh, I'm so small. I can't believe I got that first try. That stupid accordion song from Sonic 06 is stuck in my head. The one that the NPC plays on his accordion. It's just... it's so fucking catchy. But I was considering maybe playing Pokemon again, just because I know the new one came out, Arceus, is that how you pronounce it? Which I was interested in, but I was thinking about going back to Pokemon Sword and Shield purely because I didn't get very far in it. I did get a shiny. I got my first shiny in that game, naturally. I did have a shiny Pichu years ago, which wasn't with Pikachu, which my friend got me. But sadly, I don't know where Pokemon White is, because that's the game I moved it to. Originally it was on Hot Gold, and then I moved it to White, and then I don't know where that cartridge is, so forgot what the shiny was called that I got in Sword and Shield, but it was the fox, and instead of it being black and red, it's silver and blue, or grey and blue. It's at the beginning of the game. It's like one of the first Pokemon I think you get. But my partner had to be Googie, obviously. Had to be Googie. He's a monkey, first of all, and I'm usually more of the fire type kind of guy. I like the fire type. But if the design's good enough, I will, I'm not bound to do the fire type every single game, because that would be very fun. That would be very repetitive. I think we played it. Maybe got up to the second gym. I don't even think they're called gyms in that game. Can't remember. I'm just talking to myself at this point. Like, kind of have been for the last hour and a half anyway. But genuinely can't remember. I think it was a second gym, or whatever a gym would be called in that game. It was admittedly looking for a little bit more from Pokemon game on the Switch, but hey, it's fine. It's still Pokemon. Okay, sweet. So all the fingernails and darker bits and toe beam things are done. So let's have a quick look through that. Let's see. I think for an hour and a half it isn't too bad. Oh, we've got another person who's watching. So I'll just quickly go over what I've been doing for the last hour and a half. I've just been colouring in the stitch animation. We've been going over the darker colours, so you'll see the fingernails, the toes, and the back pattern, the pattern on his back. So we've been going through that. It's been alright, we've been making good time. Let's just watch it and see how it goes. Hey, not bad, not bad. That's alright, actually. I think what I will do is, I think I'll do the antennae, or the antennas, however you say it, and then we'll call it a day. I'll do the darker parts of the antennae, and then I will see about streaming again. Hopefully sometime this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. We'll just see how it goes, basically. So we missed part of that. We'll just do this one first, just because there's only a few frames of this. That's right, isn't it? Yes, that's right. So it's a darker blue on top. We do have another darker blue to do. The back is back spiky things, but we'll sort that out another time. Admittedly, I did think that I would probably get through this a lot quicker, but obviously it takes time. Not as much time as animating, but you know. So it's being pulled top at the front on the front layer. So I'm going to go back and just do here we go. Hello, it tastes like sushi. Who are you? Sorry, I've completely forgotten your real name. Oh. Burger. I can't even do it. Burger Big Book Bands. Still don't know who you are though. You're gonna have to just come forward. I'm not gonna guess. I'm not gonna go through all my friends. All two of them. Very 15. Rupert being book badass. I was so happy when I saw him this morning. Dan. Oh, hey Dan, how you doing? I'm No, I remember you. A few parties that we both go to. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just more surprised that you that you're on here right now. It's crazy. I for some reason I've got this thought process that like most of my friends list and followers don't really see anything that I post. So it's a surprise. It's a nice surprise. For some reason I thought I recognized your name. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I do now. Obviously, it's Dan, but like tastes like sushi. I thought I've heard that before. Yes, me a friend. I just wanted to pop in. Oh well, hey, thank you for popping by, Dan. It's very kind of you. I appreciate it. It's you didn't have to pop by, but I appreciate that you did. So thank you for that. Hope you have a good one, good evening, good day, whatever time it is. Half egg. Okay, so it's very much night time. Is so fucked. Yeah, I am hoping to stream more consistently. So yeah, hopefully if people miss this one, we'll be able to hop in on the next one, whenever that is. Good day. Good day. Says down. This is quite a cute frame in between. Quite like this one. It's not brilliant. It's still a bit rough, but he looks cute. Look at him. Let's save that. Let's quickly go through that. Actually, no, wait, sorry. This one. This one's on a different frame for this part of the animations. Oh, we've got 5 people watching. Hello, 5 people. It was weird because I was I thought I was just on my own, but with one other person for a while. So it's nice people joined. How are y'all doing? Just to catch you all up, we're just coloring this stitch animation that I've been doing for the past 3 weeks. It's fun. It's been fun. It's a little probably boring to watch, but let's have a look through that and just double check it. Yeah, so I think What are we going to do now? I did originally consider going off after I did the antennae, but since we've got a few more people, we can stick around for a bit longer. Let's have a look at what else we need to do. So let's get up our reference again. That's not the reference we want. I was hoping that maybe we could do something a bit less, something a bit more, I don't know, what's the word? The nitty gritty of it first, but I guess we can just start doing the chest and the eyes, so we can make a start on that, I guess. So he's going to look a little bit weird for a bit. I'm so used to him being red, it's a bit weird. Yeah, I'll stream this bit. I'll stream him getting his eyes, or the fur around his eyes, and his chest coloured. I think we'll call it a day there, and I'll try and stream again in the next few days. I'm trying to look at streaming less as something that's a special occasion, more something that I can do more consistently. So. Really likes this. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. See, this already is a lot easier than having to colour the fingernails. I don't like these in betweens actually, these ones are quite fun. I don't really like that key frame. This is nose. Yeah. This one's cute, I like that one. This one's too. That's right. I think next time when I stream, I'll probably try and sort out the back spike things. See if I can get those a good colour. I mean, it probably wouldn't take too much, but I don't really want to try and choose the colour live on stream and then faff about for about half an hour and then decide if it's good enough. Excuse me, I'd rather you guys not have to deal with that, because it's probably quite boring. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think what I will do is try and stream tomorrow. I'll try and stream tomorrow again at about the same time. And the aim is to try and get it done by the weekend, hopefully by Saturday. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get this done by the weekend, so I'll try and stream tomorrow if I can, which I probably will. If I don't stream tomorrow, it'll probably be Friday. But in theory, I would like to get this done by the weekend. I did consider animating and adding a shadow beneath Stitch, so if we just go back here and start the background. So maybe, I don't know, something down here. But the only thing is with that, I'd have to animate that as well. And I don't really know what the best way would be to animate a shadow. I mean, it's not entirely necessary, but I don't know. I'll give it a think. I might even do it before stream at some point. Let's see. These streams are just really about coloring. This one in particular, and the next stream. But I'll see if I can maybe do them more often, maybe for like an hour at least. Again, something like this, where it's just fairly casual. It's just you just hop in and hop out whenever you want. People don't have to stay for the full thing. I just appreciate people listening at all. Quite like this keyframe. This in between. This is not bad. This one too. I think it's the moment he starts smiling and start to not really like the in-betweens quite as much. Like facially anyway. It's just, it doesn't really work. This one's okay though. It's a stitch here. It's good enough. So it's a lot easier, so all we have to worry about here is just his eyes. We don't have to worry about his chest. And his mouth. The drawings aren't entirely perfect, but they're only going to be on screen for about 2 frames. Or 2 or 3 frames at the most. So it's going to start moving. Yeah, that one isn't too bad actually. I think it's more so here. Stop liking in between faces quite as much. That's okay. It's a bit too flat there. It doesn't have a mouth. I just did not add a mouth there. And go back to the belly, which is underneath. Oh no. It's a good thing it was colored red, just to be sure. I got a bit confused with this arm here, because that's red, but it's not the same red that we would use in the others, so we're just going to do that for now. See, he's already looking a bit more like himself, thanks to some colour. I was a bit worried that some of the drawings wouldn't look up good enough, but I think the colour is helping them look a bit more like Stitch. There we go. And the last stretch. 144. Not too bad. Let's go. Oh no, that is not good. There we go. yeah, this work process is a bit different compared to what I normally do. Recently, I think I've really started thriving on working and then, for a period, working for a period and then stopping, having a break, and then coming back, working a bit, chipping away at it. And I don't really keep count of how long I take for these like small breaks, but it has actually really helped kind of break things down animation wise. So I'm not used to doing it all at once like I'm doing right now, but hey, it is what it is. Got to keep the stream going. Can't exactly have a break like every 15 minutes or whatever. Streaming would be very good. Would be very efficient. Okay. Lisa asks, have you changed your mic settings since last stream? Yeah, I have. Is it better or is it worse? I was asking you earlier in the stream, but I can't really tell. Is it better? Is it worse? I'm using more of an official mic here. Previously, I was using Apple headphones, so. Just gonna have a drink. Oh. Fuck me. Okay. Let's have a look. So we're gonna play it now. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, the reason that it's going to lag, and it will lag, is because of OBS. Normally it doesn't lag quite this much, and when I finally do release it, it will look a lot smoother. So we are just going to play it now. If it lags, that's fine, whatever. But if it doesn't, then we'll... I'll be real, it sounds not good. It sounds like you're far away from the mic. And the mic is probably background noise. Though the background noise is gone now. Yeah, that's fair. I'm still figuring it out. This is a PlayStation/PC mic, so I'll have a fiddle around with it. I might go back to the Apple headset. We'll see. But yeah, see about that next time. Thanks for the advice, though. I'd rather know, so then I can do something about it. So if there is anything wrong, then obviously tell me. Okay, so like I said, we were going to play this now and see how it goes. I will probably wrap it up there, because we've been on for almost 2 hours now. Start streaming at 7, and it's now 10 to 9, no, quarter to 9. So I think that's pretty good for a day. I do plan to come back to it as well. I'm planning to stream again, hopefully tomorrow. And I'll probably do it around the same time for the same amount of time. Makes sense. I think the last one was pretty good. Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind then. So let's play this, see how it looks, and we'll wrap it up. And I've just noticed I forgot to color something. Okay. So it's this bit. Okay. Second time's the charm. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? That's not so bad. He looks more like himself. So we're not finished, obviously. I've still got to colour his back spikes and colour the rest of him, and his antennae, his feet, his body, his head, his ears. So with all that said, I think I'm gonna call it right there. thank you all for joining, even if it was very briefly. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for listening to me ramble for almost 2 hours. But I'm pretty hungry right now, so I think I'm gonna call it a day there. Is this for a reanimated compilation? No, nah. This is just a animation test, an original animation I just did for fun. I just did it for me. I was in the mood for Lilo and Stitch, so I decided to animate him. But yeah, call it a day there. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for popping by. Yeah, and I'll try and stream tomorrow. Just follow me online for any updates or anything like that. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys in the loop. But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.